Hey there, everybody. Coach Mark here. And before we dive into today's topic, make sure to find me over on Instagram as Coach Mark Estrubio. I offer one-to-one coaching. It's what I do full-time, and the odds are very good. I'd love to work with you. But with that being said, let's get into it. So if you've ever felt like you're stuck as a strongman athlete, you're not progressing, you feel as though you don't have direction in your training, this video is specifically for you. This was actually originally a short that I posted up earlier this week, and it seemed to get a lot of traction. People were wanting to discuss this a bit more, so let's go ahead and go further. So it's worth examining, why is it do strongman athletes get stuck? I think a big part of it is if we just look at how demanding the sport is itself. It's not like, say, powerlifting where it's just a 1 rep max. You have to be strong for reps, with multiple implements across multiple dimensions, across multiple events, and there's a very high skill element as well. It's a very widely varied sport as a result of that. God, I used the word varied like 5 times there. But anyways, you need power, you need strength, you need conditioning. As a result, it can be very challenging to balance the development of all these attributes at once. But you do need to develop them concurrently. But it will vary depending on where you're at. If you're someone who kills the static lifts but falls apart on a carry medley, well, your strength and power are probably pretty good, but your conditioning is lagging behind. More than any other sport, strongman absolutely demands you train both hard and smart. So, with that in mind, what is it we should focus on when in doubt? So, recognizing that strongman does require quite a few competing demands, it's one of those things that we need a best practice, and that is to integrate chasing a few basic goals and then have everything else be subservient to those goals, radiate outwards from them. That way everything has a sort of focus, a directness within it. If we look at powerlifting, for example, the sport itself is incredibly simple on paper. Max squat, max bench, max deadlift. Thus, everything in training orients towards improving that long-term goal. This is why powerlifting programs can be very successful when applied across a large population, because there's intent within the training. As such, with strongman, we need to figure out what our through line is so we can be intentional in our training. And when I think about the through line, it's about being strong across multiple positions and reps, explosive enough to accelerate odd implements, and have the conditioning to move both well consistently in event and between events as fatigue continues to mount. So we're going to make this even simpler. For your strength through line, there are 5 main lifts that I think every strongman athlete should be focusing in on. A push press, the deadlift from the floor, a bent over barbell row, a 45-degree incline bench, and then a squat of your choosing. Front squats, high bar squats, or SSB, and Zercher squats are probably my favorite options here. When in doubt, just get disgustingly offensively strong on these movements in the 3 to 8 rep range. Strongman is ultimately a sport for reps, and if you have a big 3 rep max, well, the odds are very good you can peak for an even bigger 1 rep max in about 8 weeks. Now, our next item to discuss is explosiveness, just that ability to accelerate from a dead stop. And this one can be done very complicated or very simple. I always reach for simplicity whenever I can. And in this case, throwing in jumps and throws as part of your warm-up between sets of squats and deads or pressing is a solid approach. You don't really need a lot of volume here. 10 to 20 total reps will suffice. And contrast training, like you're seeing on screen right now, is another great option for replacing speed work on lighter training days as well. You might also consider using Olympic pull variations such as snatch grip high pulls. Again, we just want to think triple extension, taking a lightweight and moving it with maximal intent. And lastly, when it comes to conditioning, just a few basic targets here. A sub 7 to 8 minute 2K row or ski is probably the gold standard for a strongman athlete. Otherwise, think about getting 100 plus calories on an air assault bike Tabata. Remember, that's 8 rounds of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. So that's only 4 minutes. Or lastly, and a personal favorite, is 80% or more of your body weight in calories in 10 minutes on an air assault bike. So if you're a 200-pound athlete, 160 calories or more. This only needs to be about a 5 to 8 minute time investment at the end of your session, and truth be told, this is probably the single best investment most of you strongman athletes can make. And if you look on the right side of the screen right now, there's a good, simple 8-week interval program you can slap on at the end of any given session, whether it be with the rower, air bike, or ski erg, to help you improve your conditioning and also help your recovery from that session as well. Now here's an example of what this all looks like if you're to put it together. So day 1 is your heavy upper day, day 2 is heavy lower, then you have a technique focus upper and then a technique focus lower. So you'll see We're hitting all those 5 key indicator lifts, and then every accessory selected in here is subservient to improving those main lifts. Plus we have a little bit of event work such as the stone load practice right here, and then intervals are done every single day. So you can see how this is really a very simple program on paper, which is honestly what more of us need. Simplicity in training, at least when done correctly, is a feature, not a bug. Repeating a simple system with adjustments here and there based on feedback is the heart of good productive training. A program such as the one I shared with you, attacked with 100% effort, is going to yield far greater results than overly complicated methods that collapse under the weight of their own alleged innovation. And you can end the video right here because now it's just going to turn into an ad. This is a promotion for my 8-week Strongman scaffold coaching intake. So this is, if you will, a base builder program, Marche à Supplice, the march to the scaffold. And the entire idea here is it's an 8-week Strongman Pro coaching program built around improving your front squat, your log or axle push press, whichever one you want to focus on, deadlift from the floor, as well as your sandbag pick and carry, which is one of the best indicators of overall strongman success. It's an 8-week program, $120. If you're interested in that, comment down below or fill out the intake form in the description box, and you'll hear from me pretty quickly. As far as how Marche à Supplice works, it's a 4-day split. You're going to have a lower body day, an upper body day, and then 2 full body days. The first full body day is more of a technique and developmental day, and the other full body day is going to be event focused. So you're going to be training your sandbag pick and load, farmer's walks, sled drags, that sort of work. It'll be updated weekly based off your performance. You'll have access to the coaching team so that you can chat with my fellow athletes. And you can even run it as a 3-day program if you were just looking to build overall strongman strength and conditioning. Again, this is a blatant ad at this point in the video. Hope you found something useful before I started advertising. Anyways, I'll catch you folks in the next one. Have a great rest of the day.